Okay, so now it's time for the Allied action phase, and we'll start with return to base, and then move to sea area, and then sea area combat. So before we do any land moves, I think we have some return to base to do here. Question is what? We now have, down here we have some transports with infantry, which we would like to get up and take back some of the islands from the Japanese. And in order to do that, we would need to go out. Let's see, we could rebase into New Britain, this phase, and then in the Blitz phase we could go out and take something, or we could just go out 1, 2, stay here at sea. I don't see why we should do that though, so we should probably just aim to rebase the transport over to New Britain. Which means that we should probably stay at sea, or at least protect. Do we need to do that though? Maybe we don't need to do that, we could just go up. We will be able to rebase stuff into New Britain. If we don't have any units here, the Japanese, they could actually go in and do a port attack on our transport, which would be annoying. But I wonder if they want to do that. I think we can keep the third fleet here. Rebase the Pacific Fleet. Could rebase the Pacific Squad. We can go up. I guess we could move also, we could also rebase the third fleet, why not? So, for move to sea area, let's start with what we should do here in the west coast. I think the third fleet transport, they will pick up the Pacific Command. Then we go out one, just one actually, into the US West Coast, which means that they will be able to pick up these Mexicans during the land movement phase. The submarines will go out and go 1, 2. Yeah, the submarines can't do much now. They want to get over to these convoy sea areas so that they can start messing with the Japanese production, but the movement, currently they don't have enough bases close enough, so we'll have to just rebase them to Oahu later. Okay, so that's for that. Should we try to go out and destroy the mobile fleet? It's probably a good idea. Let's do that. Let's move out and pick on this lonely Japanese fleet. 1, 2. 1, 2. So we have a nice naval unit here. We can also bring the light CVs from Polynesia. Yeah, why not? 1, 2. And now that's it for the move to sea area. So now we have a naval combat here, which will start with an air-to-air combat. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5 air factors on the US side and 2 factors on the Japanese side. But the US have plus signs here and here, so the Japanese will actually roll on table 4. So 5 for the US and 4 for the Japanese. The Japanese rolls a 1 on table 4, that's nothing. And the US rolls 3 on column 5. So that is a step loss for the Japanese, which is unfortunate for them. Then we take this one and place it in the force pool. And from the reserve pool, we take the reduced mobile fleet counter. Okay, so now the Japanese will roll on table 6 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they will actually roll on column 1. The US will roll on 7, 12, 15, 19, minus 1. So they will roll on column 18. Oh. I forgot that when there is a sea area combat, the opposing player actually has the option to send out its naval air. So we could have opted to go out with the Imperial Navy, for example, into the sea zone here, which would have given us a little bit more of a punch. But okay, we forgot about that, and in fact we might want to be able to move out this guy into another sea area anyways. So let's just keep it this way. But yeah, we have to remember that if you have an air unit that is eligible to move out into the sea area, they can always do that when there's a sea area combat going on the opposing side, or the opposing player. The facing player already has the option of just moving the air directly in there, which they've done in this case. Okay, so what did we say? We had 19 for the Japanese and column 1 for 19 for the US and column 1 for the Japanese. 3 for both. No results on the Americans. Column 19. 3 is a 2 and an L, which means that the mobile fleet is completely eliminated. And that is a bit tough for the Japanese. They're down 3 steps of fleet from previous turn. Okay, so that was all sea area combats. And we now go to rebase air and naval units. And now we just rebase this transport with its cargo. 1, 2, 3, so into New Britain. And I like to keep the naval units on top. And then that's it for the rebasing. Now it's move land units. The Mexicans will embark embarkation move. And then, do we have any land movements in China or India? I don't know if we have. I don't think we do. I think these warlords, they should stay here. And these guys should definitely just stay here and protect Calcutta. We should probably put some money into rebuilding the 14th Army here, as well as these units down here in New Zealand, or at least this Anzac force. I can remember that for the build phase. So no land area combat for the US, and now we move on to the blitz phases.